So today we're doing a little repair on the MGB GT. This is a replacement for the starter motor. So I'm underneath the car currently, and you can see the old filthy starter motor which is getting very lazy, and we're going to replace it. So the first thing we need to do is make sure you disconnect the battery. So I've taken the earth off of the battery, so I've got no current going through it, because we're going to detach these live wires that go to the starter motor, and you don't want them knocking against anything else, or they're short. And with a 13mm, I'm just removing the nut off this part to remove these live wires, and now I've got two wires I've got to pull off a spade connector. Then we've got a bolt at the back there. I'll put a ring around that one so you can see it, and there's one at the top of the engine which I'm going to undo and show you. We just need to remove the distributor cap to give us a little bit more room, and I'm hoping it will drop out. But let's see. So the next step, as you can see, I've taken the cap off the distributor to give me a little bit more space, because I need to get to this bolt here, which has also got a wiring harness clip on it, so you just got to be careful that you protect that, because that's going to need to go back on. As I'm undoing it, the weight of the starter motor now, with the bottom bolt removed, is already starting to loosen, and there's a gap appearing, so it looks like this could come out really easily, which is great. While I was in here, I've taken time to clean up the connections on the inside of my distributor cap. I'm running an electronic ignition system rather than Poynting condenser, but yeah, I hadn't looked at those for a good year, maybe six months to a year, so gave those connections a quick clean up just so that we were running a nice clean spark. Hopefully that'll be better running. It's a good little maintenance job. So I'm just going to whip this out, and then I'm going to drop the starter motor out the bottom, hopefully. Chunky old starter motor is now out. Literally dropped out. The only thing that was stopping it was this set of cables that it got caught on, but as you can see, there's the flywheel. We are out, which is great news. Apart from having to crack the bolts to start with, it's come out nice and easy. So this is quite cool. This is the old starter motor. Been in here since 1979. We're still working, but getting a bit sluggish. Cold weather in England's now here, so I thought it's time to update it so that it doesn't have to work quite so hard. And this is the new one. So a bit of a change in size and weight. This is about 2 kilograms lighter. It's a high torque geared starter motor, and it will use less power and put better output. So looking forward to actually getting this one running and having better starting. Shouldn't put too much strain on the power system, which will be cool. Okay, so here we are back in the MGB after fitting the new starter motor, the high torque geared starter motor. Taking out the old one was super easy. Installing the new one took a little bit of time, I'm not going to lie. It took a good couple of hours of pushing and pulling and trying to get the wires in the right place. And I think it's my own fault, because on the starter motor that I purchased, I believe that the flange that attaches it to the vehicle with the 2 bolts is movable, and I didn't think that's what it would do. So by not moving it into a position that I wanted, it must be a multi-vehicle starter, it meant that getting to the wiring was really difficult, and the wiring is quite thick and also quite, work hardened due to its age. So I had a real struggle getting the connections on and, getting everything in place. But I finally got it in place, and very, very happy with the starting ability of this new starter motor. So we're in neutral. It makes a different noise to a standard starter. There goes the aerial. We have an ignition light. And you'll notice there's a slightly different noise because it is geared. But there you go, started already. Yeah, so absolute night and day getting the vehicle to start. Super duper easy. Very impressed. In cold weather, tried it yesterday morning. It was 1 degree, maybe 0 degrees at 5 a.m. and I was heading to work and put the choke on, turned the key, and half a second later the engine started, which is absolutely fantastic. So highly recommend them. I'll put a link in the description to the starter motor that I purchased. Take a look at the flange to make sure that you've got it orientated for your vehicle. If I'd done that, then the wiring would have been on the bottom of the starter motor, and it would have been a whole different story in removing it and putting the wires back on. I hope this has been helpful. More videos to come.